We're all kind of following a script that we've never even read. It's like a social blueprint, this set of hidden rules that's been shaping us since the day we were born. So in this explainer, we're going to decode that blueprint and figure out who or what wrote the rules. Have you ever stopped to think about why you face the door in an elevator, or why you use a certain fork for your salad? I mean, no one hands you a rule book for these things when you're a kid, but somehow you just know. So where does that knowledge actually come from? Well, the answer boils down to this one really powerful idea: socialization. It's this lifelong journey where we learn everything we need to know to just function as a person in our society. You can almost think of it like the operating system that gets installed in all of us. And look, this goes way beyond just good manners. Socialization is absolutely essential. It's how we learn the most fundamental things that make us human, from our sense of right and wrong to the very language we use to form our thoughts. Okay, but get this. There's a flip side. Every single time we learn the right way to do something, we're also, at the same time, learning what's considered wrong. This whole process of learning is also, and this is crucial, a process of social control. Let's take a super simple example. In a lot of cultures, the right way to eat is with a knife and fork. Well, that simple rule automatically makes other ways, like eating with your hands, the wrong way, or what sociologists might call deviant. See how that works? Every norm we learn quietly limits our range of what's considered acceptable. And that, right there, is what we call social control. It's basically the sum of all the ways society encourages us, or sometimes, pushes us, to stick to the script and conform to all those shared rules and expectations. So how does society actually do this? Through things called sanctions. Now, when you hear the word sanction, you probably think of punishment, right? But it can also be a reward. It's really just any reaction from other people that encourages you to either keep doing something or to stop it. A smile, a compliment, getting a promotion, yep, those are all positive sanctions. A disapproving look, getting a fine, being told off, those are the negative ones. Okay, but who are the teachers here? Who's handing out these sanctions? They don't just appear out of nowhere. Sociologists call them agencies of socialization, which is just a kind of fancy way of saying the key groups in our lives that do all the heavy lifting of shaping who we are. So let's start with the big one. Our journey kicks off at home, with our family. They are our very first guides to the social world, and they lay the foundation for absolutely everything that comes after. The sociologist George Herbert Mead had the perfect term for this: significant others. And they are called significant for a reason. People like our parents have this incredible influence because they teach us our most fundamental core values, our very first ideas about right and wrong. The thing that makes the family so different is that it's all built on relationships of love and duty, right? This creates this kind of social laboratory. It's a pretty safe space where we can mess up, push the boundaries, and learn really complicated social roles without, huge, disastrous consequences. And families have a whole toolkit of positive sanctions they use to guide us. Just think about how powerful a simple smile of approval from a parent can be, or hearing "good job" after you do something right. These little rewards are constant signals that we're on the right track. And then, of course, you've got the negative sanctions. A sharp tone of voice, a disapproving look. That can be just as instructive as praise, can't it? It's this constant mix of positive and negative feedback that keeps steering our behavior in the right direction. So here's a super important thing to remember. This isn't just about adults programming kids like little robots. Nope. Kids are totally active in this. They test the rules, they negotiate, they see what they can get away with. Socialization is a dynamic, two-way street, even inside the family. All right, but our family is just the beginning. As we get older, a whole new force comes into play, and it is a powerful one: our peer group. This is where we start to find our tribe. Suddenly, the opinions of our friends, people our own age and status, they start to shape everything. What we wear, the music we listen to, the slang we use, their opinion can feel like it's the only one that matters in the whole world. We've all heard the term peer pressure, right? But if you really think about it, it's just social control in its rawest, most personal form. It's that deep, powerful desire to fit in and be accepted by the group that guides so many of our actions. And peer groups have their own set of rewards, their own positive sanctions. And it's all about one thing: inclusion. When other people laugh at your jokes or want to hang out with you, it's more than just friendship. It's a massive signal that you belong, that you're playing by the tribe's rules correctly. On the flip side, though, the negative sanctions can be absolutely brutal. Being ignored, getting kicked out of the friend group, or even facing physical violence. These are incredibly powerful punishments that enforce the group's unwritten code. So you can really see a clear difference starting to emerge, right? The family relationship that's based on love and duty, and it teaches us those deep, foundational moral values. But our peer relationships, we choose those, and they teach us something totally different, the rules of our own generation, what's cool and what is definitely not. So we've got family, we've got peers, but the story doesn't end there, not even close. This whole process, this learning of the rules, it keeps going for our entire lives. I mean, just think about it. You start a new job, you become a parent, you retire. Every single one of these new stages of life comes with a whole new playbook, a new set of expectations and roles you have to learn. We are always being socialized. And this brings us to the final, and maybe the most important takeaway. This whole thing isn't something that just happens to us. We are also the ones making it happen. Every time you smile at someone who holds a door open, or, give that little side eye to someone who cuts in line, you're being an active participant. You're literally enforcing that social blueprint on everyone else at the exact same time it's being enforced on you. Which leaves us with a pretty mind-bending question, doesn't it? Once you really start to see this social blueprint, once you see how it's been built into you from day one by your family, your friends, your whole culture, you really have to stop and ask yourself, how much of the person I think of as me is actually me, and how much is just a product of the script? Definitely something to chew on.